Happy birthday goes out to our red-headed stranger. Willie Nelson turns 92 years old today, and he's still rocking it. Just last week, he released his 154th album.
Sleeping in a ditch and hitchhiking just to chase a dream isn't like most celebrity tales. While others rose from grass to grace, Willie Nelson worked his way from gravel to grace through hardship and pure determination. His voice and spirit stood out. He built a legacy filled with music, love, and freedom, and fans absolutely loved his kind heart and free soul. But now, whispers are spreading. Did Willie really reveal a list of 6 singers he couldn't stand? Could someone so warm have real enemies? Join us as we reveal the truth behind Willie Nelson's list. From Ground Zero. Before Willie Nelson became a music legend, he was just a skinny kid from a small Texas town, tired, broke, and often forgotten. He wasn't always the smooth, successful star people now recognize. In fact, his road to fame was full of wrong turns, heartbreak, and nights spent cold and alone. One time, he even slept in a ditch when no one would stop to give him a ride. Everything was wrong from the day he took his first breath. When Willie was born in Abbott, his birthday was written down wrong by the doctor as April 30th, but that was just the beginning. His cousin Mildred gave him his name, choosing Hugh to honor her little brother who had passed away. Life wasn't kind. His parents had moved from Arkansas to Texas in 1929, trying to find work. His grandfather worked as a blacksmith, and his dad fixed cars. Not long after Willie was born, his mother walked out. His father later remarried and left too. Willie and his older sister Bobby were raised by their kind-hearted grandparents who had once taught music back in Arkansas. It was these loving grandparents who first opened the door to the world of music for the 2 children. Willie's grandfather bought him his first guitar when he was just 6. He taught him a few simple chords, and soon Willie was singing gospel songs at church with Bobby. At only 7, he wrote his first song. By 9, he was strumming guitar in a local band called Bohemian Polka. But life in Abbott was rough. The family picked cotton in the burning sun during summer. Willie hated it. He found another way to earn money. He began singing in bars, dance halls, and dusty honky-tonks at just 13 years old. He kept performing through high school, inspired by greats like Hank Williams, Frank Sinatra, and Louis Armstrong. In high school, Willie played football, basketball, and baseball. He also raised pigs for a school farming group. While still a teenager, he joined a band called the Texans, started by his brother-in-law. They played in smoky bars and even had a Sunday radio spot. Money was tight, so Willie worked every job he could find. He trimmed trees, worked at a pawn shop, and even handled phones for a local company. After graduating, he joined the Air Force, but back trouble forced him to leave after just 8 months. He returned home, got married in 1952, and went to Baylor University to study farming. But music kept calling, so he dropped out to chase his dream. He bounced from job to job, bouncer, parts seller, saddle maker, and then got a break as a radio DJ in Pleasanton, Texas, even though he had 0 experience. There, he recorded his first songs in 1955, but the local record label turned them down. Still, he didn't quit. He worked at different radio stations, sang in clubs, and even taught Sunday school. Hoping for a fresh start, he tried moving to San Diego. When that failed, he hitchhiked to Oregon to find his mother. No one picked him up. He spent the night in a ditch, then hopped a freight train. A kind truck driver gave him $10 to catch a bus to Portland. It's hard to imagine now, but Willie Nelson's life began with pain, rejection, and hard, dirty work. Still, he kept going. When and how did he get his big break? Trials and tribulations. Willie Nelson didn't become famous overnight. In fact, for many years, all he heard was no. After drifting from one town to the next, He finally got hired at radio station KVAN in Vancouver, Washington. He even got to appear on a local TV show. In 1956, Willie recorded his first song, No Place for Me, with Lumberjack on the other side. But the record flopped. Still, he kept playing in small clubs and working as a radio announcer to make ends meet. Hoping for better luck, Willie played at clubs in Colorado and later moved to Springfield, Missouri, aiming to join the popular TV show Ozark Jubilee. But that door slammed shut too. He ended up washing dishes just to survive. Tired and defeated, he packed up and went back to Texas. He gave up music for a whole year. To pay the bills, he sold Bibles and vacuum cleaners door to door. Later, he sold encyclopedias. And it did so well, he became a sales manager. It wasn't the life he wanted, but it helped feed his growing family. After his son, Billy, was born in 1958, Willie moved the family to Houston, Texas. On the way, he stopped at the Esquire Ballroom to try selling one of his songs, Mr. Record Man, for $10. The singer there, Larry Butler, didn't buy it, but he gave Willie something better, a $50 loan and 6 nights of singing work. It was just enough to get by. Willie rented a tiny apartment in Pasadena, near Houston, and got another job as a radio DJ. He also recorded more songs, but they didn't take off either. He started giving guitar lessons and sold his song Family Bible for $50 and Nightlife for $150, songs that would later become hits for other singers. Family Bible became a success for Claude Gray in 1960. But Willie still wasn't known. In 1960, he moved to Nashville, where he hoped to catch his big break, but no one would sign him. Most nights, he hung around Tootsie's Orchid Lounge, a bar near the Grand Ole Opry full of struggling singers and seasoned stars. One day, songwriter Hank Cochran heard Willie playing with some musicians and helped him land a job at Pamper Music, earning just $50 a week. That's when things slowly started to change. When singer Farron Young heard Willie perform Hello Walls, he recorded it, and it became a hit. Ray Price recorded Nightlife and soon hired Willie to play bass in his band, the Cherokee Cowboys. Willie's songs began catching fire. Crazy was recorded by Patsy Cline, and it became the biggest jukebox hit of all time. In 1961, Willie finally signed with Liberty Records and began recording real albums. His first charting single was a duet with singer Shirley Colley, Willingly. He married Shirley in 1963, and they moved to California, where he worked for Pamper Music. But Willie missed performing, so he quit and bought a ranch in Tennessee. In 1964, RCA Victor signed him for $10,000 a year. He released Country Willie, his own songs, and joined the Grand Ole Opry. He even became friends with Waylon Jennings. But although some of his songs made the top 25, big hits still escaped him. He was respected, but not yet a star. By 1970, things were falling apart. His ranch in Tennessee burned down. His marriage to Shirley ended in divorce, and the music wasn't bringing in much money. Fed up, he moved to a new ranch in Texas with his new wife, Connie Koepke. In 1971, I'm a Memory reached the top 30, but RCA didn't seem to care. When they pressured him to renew his contract, he had enough. Willie Nelson decided to walk away from music forever, but life had one more twist in store. The fire that nearly broke him would soon light a new path and start a revolution in country music. How did an almost forgotten dream become a reality? A shot at the skies. After moving to Austin, Texas, Willie Nelson found new energy in the city's lively hippie music scene. The relaxed crowd at the Armadillo World headquarters loved his unique sound, which combined country, folk, and jazz. In March, he performed at the Dripping Springs Reunion, a 3-day music festival. Even though the event didn't draw a big crowd, it sparked an idea in Nelson's mind. The next year, he launched his own festival, the famous 4th of July picnic. Feeling ready to make music again, Nelson left RCA Records with help from his new manager, Neil Reshen. He then signed with Atlantic Records and became their very first country artist. He formed a new band called The Family and began recording Shotgun Willie in New York. Released in 1973, the album received glowing reviews even though it didn't sell well. Nelson later said it helped him clear his throat and find a fresh sound. In 1974, he released Phases and Stages, a deeply personal concept album about divorce, with one side of the record telling the woman's story and the other the man's. It included the hit Bloody Mary Morning. That same year, Nelson starred in the pilot episode of Austin City Limits, which later became a legendary TV show. Next, he joined Columbia Records under a deal that gave him complete creative control. In 1975, he released the groundbreaking album Red-Headed Stranger, which the label was unsure about at first. But it featured the song Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, which became Nelson's first #1 hit. He used his 1975 tour to raise money for PBS stations, helping to launch Austin City Limits officially in 1976. Around this time, Nelson and Waylon Jennings became known for outlaw country music that is bold, gritty, and different from Nashville's polished style. They joined forces with Jesse Coulter and Tom Paul Glaser for the album Wanted, The Outlaws, which became country music's first platinum-selling album. In 1976, Nelson also released The Sound in Your Mind and a gospel record, Troublemaker. By 1977, Nelson discovered that his manager, Reshen, hadn't been paying taxes. Worse, a package of drugs linked to Reshen led to Waylon Jennings getting arrested, though the charges were dropped. Nelson fired Reshen and hired Mark Rothbaum, who had taken the fall. Nelson liked his honesty. In 1978, Nelson had a huge year with 2 platinum albums, Waylon and Willie, and Stardust. Despite warnings that Stardust might fail, it became a huge success. He continued to top the charts with songs like Good-Hearted Woman and Uncloudy Day. Nelson didn't slow down. In the 1980s, he released hit after hit. He recorded On the Road Again for the movie Honeysuckle Rose and teamed up with Julio Iglesias for the duet To All the Girls I've Loved Before. In 1982, he recorded Pancho and Lefty with Merle Haggard. During that time, he also recorded Always on My Mind, which became a major hit and won several Grammy Awards. Nelson joined Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Johnny Cash to form a supergroup called The Highwaymen. They released platinum albums and toured the world. He also joined charity efforts like We Are the World and released Half Nelson, a duet album with artists like Ray Charles and Neil Young. He even sang with First Lady Rosalind Carter at the White House, and later admitted to smoking marijuana on its roof. During the 1990s and 2000s, Nelson kept touring and making music. He collaborated with artists like Johnny Cash, Fish, and Toby Keith. His duet with Keith, Beer for My Horses, was a chart topper. He appeared on TV, celebrated his 70th birthday in style, and joined albums with stars like Ringo Starr and Toots and the Maytals. In 2005, he helped raise money for tsunami victims and performed with jazz legend Wynton Marsalis, releasing a jazz album that hit #1. He also recorded a Ray Charles tribute with Norah Jones. Nelson kept evolving. In the 2010s, he released country music in 2010, produced by T-Bone Burnett, and joined the Kokwa for Japan fundraiser in 2011. He signed a new deal with Legacy Recordings, teaming up with Buddy Cannon to produce new albums. Cannon would record the band separately, then add Nelson's guitar and vocals later. Nelson could have given up several times, but his passion kept him going. And on his 91st birthday, he did something shocking and special. Did he truly give names of artists that he disliked? A Time to Reunite. Willie Nelson's 91st birthday didn't come with a list of people he disliked. Instead, he chose to celebrate by reuniting with one of his oldest and dearest friends, Bob Dylan. The two music legends shared the stage on Friday, May 16th at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles for the Outlaw Music Festival. The show marked a powerful moment of friendship and history as they co-headlined the 10th anniversary of the iconic tour. Willie, holding his beloved guitar, Trigger, gave fans a night to remember with timeless songs like On the Road Again and You Were Always on My Mind. At 91, he stood tall beside his family band and son, Micah, filling the night with warmth, spirit, and soul. Bob Dylan, 83, followed with his own legendary energy, and it was mind-blowing. Despite some technical hiccups, he delivered electric blues rock versions of All Along the Watchtower and Simple Twist of Fate. His deep voice and steady presence kept the audience locked in every note. The two legends created something that day, a legacy that would continue to live on. This tour is more than a concert. It's a celebration of two music giants who've shared decades of stories and songs. The Outlaw Music Festival will visit 35 cities across North America, with Nelson and Dylan at every stop. They'll be joined by other artists along the way, but the heart of the show remains their rare and powerful bond. Their journey together started way back in 1973 on the film set of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid in Durango, Mexico. Chris Christopherson, who was filming at the time, once asked Dylan, "Why isn't Willie famous? He's a genius." The next day, Dylan invited Nelson to the set. Willie showed up and played old Django Reinhardt songs for 10 hours straight. That unforgettable jam session began a friendship that still shines today. They've toured together before in 2004, 2005, and 2009, and even wrote and performed songs like Heartland for Willie's 1993 album Across the Borderline. Now, decades later, their music and connection are stronger than ever. At a time when most people slow down, Willie and Bob are still riding strong, side by side, note by note. Not only does Willie live life peacefully, he is loved by people as well. Now, moving on to his 92nd birthday celebration, did it come with a list? And what made it so special? An admirable impact. His next birthday didn't come with a list of names either. When Willie Nelson turned 92, he didn't slow down. He reached for something powerful and heartfelt. This time, he joined forces with another music legend, Steve Perry, for a soulful version of the classic Journey ballad, Faithfully. This surprise duet wasn't just for show. It was created to support the 2025 Farm Aid event, a cause close to Willie's heart. The 40th anniversary concert, set for September 20th in Minneapolis, will feature artists like Dave Matthews, Billy Strings, Margot Price, and more. But it's this unexpected musical gift from Nelson and Perry that has everyone talking. Willie Nelson isn't just a country music legend. He's also one of the best interpreters of songs in all of pop music. Albums like Red-Headed Stranger showed his brilliance, but it was Stardust, a collection of pop standards, that earned him fans all around the world. His voice, instantly recognizable and full of emotion, has only grown more powerful with age. That voice met its match in Steve Perry, the original voice of Journey. Perry doesn't often sing Journey songs anymore, and he rarely performs in public. But when Willie called, Perry said yes, without hesitation. "Singing with Willie is one of the greatest honors of my life," he shared. "His voice is one of the most poetic I've ever heard." Their version of Faithfully keeps the original piano-driven spirit alive, but adds the rich sound of Mickey Raphael's harmonica and the gentle strum of Willie's old guitar, Trigger. The result is a moving blend of nostalgia and heartache. Perfect for a song about life on the road, something Willie knows all too well. Willie's unique phrasing has always made him a bit tricky to sing with. That's why many of his duets feel more like two solo performances joined together. This one is no different. At times, Perry seems to stretch himself to match Willie's pace, especially on words like time, where the emotion nearly spills over. Still, none of that takes away from the magic. In just 48 hours, the duet has sparked a wave of emotion across fans young and old. It's more than just a fundraiser. It's a moment. One of those rare times when two legendary voices come together to remind us why music matters. What began as a simple idea to help Farm Aid has become one of 2025's most touching collaborations. Willie Nelson and Steve Perry have taken a beloved song and turned it into something even more meaningful. A musical moment full of soul, memory, and the timeless power of a song sung with heart. What do you think of Willie Nelson's Gravel to Grace story and approach to life? Could there really be a number of singers that he doesn't like, but have chosen to keep private? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.